Greetings and salutations, YouTubers. This is Illafan85, back coming at you today with a new video, doing a little figure review here. This one's not going to be anything too extreme, just a little mini figure review. Of course, talking about my Manda minifigure from the Bandai Pack of Destruction set. This was the Pack of Destruction set that was released in 2002, so it was one of 10 figures that were included in that set. I did previously review my burning Godzilla minifigure, I should say, which again was also from that Pack of Destruction set. So if any of you are curious to check that one out, please go ahead and do so. But this one, like I said, also part of that set. So I did get it back, I think a couple years after it was released, something like back in 2004, 2005-ish is when I actually picked it up at, I want to say KB Toys, back when that was still around. Nonetheless, though, I was really excited for it. Actually, the biggest reason I wanted that set was because of Manda himself, because I actually previously did not have any Manda figures, and also along with that, up until recently, when I got a hold of my two YMSF Manda figures, the translucent gray one and that second release brownish one that I got, which is more indicative of his Destroy All Monsters incarnation, minus the head design, but when I got those two, that was in the more recent past. That was within the last half a year, I would say. So up until then, I've only had this Manda figure in my collection. But I was really happy to get a hold of him once I did. So I wanted to go ahead, since I did already review my YMSF Manda figures. I figured, though, I did want to go ahead and cover this guy as well. He is pretty cool, even though he's a minifigure. He's actually pretty darn cool, and I think that Bandai Pack of Destruction pretty much nailed him, at least as far as the way he's designed and whatnot. So this is obviously, even though at first glance it almost looks like the Final Wars incarnation of Manda, mainly because you see the color scheme on his body, but obviously, though, like I said, this was from that Bandai Pack of Destruction set, which was released in 2002, so that was 2 years before Godzilla Final Wars was actually released. So I believe that this figure is actually based on the original incarnation of Manda, which is from the 1963 movie Atragon. So that's definitely pretty cool. So, and then, of course, Manda's other appearances. He appeared in 1968's Destroy All Monsters, my all-time favorite Godzilla movie, as many of you might know. Plus in some stock footage in Godzilla's Revenge and Terror of Mechagodzilla, etc. But then, of course, we really didn't see him again, movie-wise, until Final Wars. But nonetheless, I believe that this is mostly based off of his 63 design. So let's jump into the figure review itself here, starting with the paint scheme. As you can see, his body painted in this sort of brownish color, this goldish brownish color all around him, so almost indicative of like King Ghidorah's paint scheme, which not really movie accurate to the way he's supposed to be painted in here for his coloring. But it's not too much of a drawback, though. I still like it. I still think it looks pretty cool nonetheless. He did have that sort of weird multicolor design, though, in his original incarnation. So I'm not really sure why they decided to go with this goldish brownish color. But still, I think it looks pretty good, though. And then, as you see, covers most of his body. And then, of course, you have a couple different variations on the face here. Trying to make sure my camera focuses, as hoping it will, folks. Doing the best I can for you. Let's see here, but you can kind of see, yeah, there it goes a little bit. Alright, so you can see the eyes basically have the white eyes with the black pupils, so nothing really too specific there. But you got some paint inside the mouth. I know it's a little dusty, again, it is old. So still mostly that brownish color inside the mouth. They didn't really do too much there, but the teeth, though, almost have this sort of tannish, dirty bone color, with almost what appears to be like a hint of like a reddish tint to it. So it's almost like it's blood stained or something. I'm not sure why they did that, but it actually looks really cool though. I think it adds to his overall look with the colorations on the teeth there, so you guys can see that pretty well now. So I definitely really like that a lot. So that pretty much covers it for the paint. There's nothing too drastic there. As far as the detail goes, it's pretty nicely done. You can see that sort of fin that goes all the way down his body. So you could see that running down his body right here, all the way down the center of the body. And then, of course, you got that fin there with the nice little detailing on it, that feathered look that they have for it. So that looks pretty cool. I definitely like that. Trying to make sure the camera focuses for you guys. I'm not sure why it's not really wanting to cooperate much today. But still, that looks pretty cool. You got the scaling on the underside and his underbelly going all down his body from his neck all the way down to where the body meets the tail. So that looks pretty cool. Very serpent-like looking. He's got the four mini, small legs that he's got with the feet there. They didn't do any variations in the colors for the claws or anything like that, but they still kind of made them prevalent looking, at least with the detail work. You can see all these bumps and scales all on the top of his body here. So you can kind of see some of that going down him. Of course, on the face, you got those whiskers that he's got. So those look pretty cool. Again, indicative of his original incarnation from Atragon. Same thing with these horns that he's got on the back of the back of his head on both sides. The two horns on each side. So you guys can see that there. And again, of course, the detailing for the eyes, and again that fin, that small fin that goes down his body here, which starts at the top of the head before it goes all the way down. So you can see that there. So definitely looks really, really cool. So these aren't sharp, by the way, because this is kind of like a rubbery type of figure. So if you're worried about getting poked by those horns, you don't really have to worry about it too much. So that pretty much, I think, covers it for the paint and detail. Otherwise, we look at articulation, but for this guy, he's got none. He's kind of got, I guess, like some bendy type wires in his body. I don't really like to mess with those too much because I don't want to damage them. On that trend, I have the Trendmasters King Ghidorah figure and the bendy wire in the tail on those because that was the rubber one. That one broke on me, and ever since then I don't really like messing with the bendy wires. So not really going to get articulation, like I said, so he's kind of just in this pose, but he definitely makes for a nice little display. Again, he's a minifigure from that Pack of Destruction set. He's probably one of the larger ones just because of his length here. So I would say he's several inches long, maybe around 4-ish inches or so long, but he's still considered a minifigure. So not really a standard size Manda figure, but still a nice one to add to your collection nonetheless. I do see him on eBay, either if you want to get him with the full Pack of Destruction, I've seen available, but that's going to cost you a bit more, especially now. Like I said, it was released in 2002, and it's kind of the whole pack itself is become a bit rare, as a complete set. But if you want to try to get him individually, I've seen him for $20 or less on eBay. So definitely not too bad. And just to have a Manda figure, if you're not really in the market to, say, get the YMSF one, for example, I think X Plus has a Manda figure as well, but X Plus is ridiculously expensive. And the YMSF one is very expensive as well. I was really happy to get the YMSF Manda figures that I got because they are just awesome. But I definitely like this guy a lot, though, too. And I think he makes a great addition to a collection. So if you're in the market, I do recommend him. Other than that, though, folks, I think that covers it for this video, though. I would definitely like to thank you so much for watching. If you would like to subscribe, please feel free to do so. If you would like to like and or comment on any of my videos, please feel free to do so as well. And just remember, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, you be good to yourselves, and sayonara.